So in this video, I'm going to walk everybody through the using the balcony template for the California balcony inspections. When you download Scriber, you're not going to see all these colored things. These are just templates that I'm working on. So you're not going to see much. It's just going to be a couple of these squares. Each one of these squares is just a job, right? So you'll go ahead and create from template. And once I load this, I need to load the balcony template for you, California Exterior Element Report 3.0. So we'll go ahead and we will create a new one of these. And now you're inside of a job. So you can put the client name here and property address and all that kind of stuff. So the very first thing that you're going to do is design the template to suit the project. So let's just say you're doing a building and it's got 15 elements, and most of them either face north or south. So let's go down to element, and this is the element chapter, and then this is the element section. So what I might do to kind of make a more readable report is kind of break up the elements a little bit. So I'm going to copy the chapter, and now I've got two. So this first element could be north elements. And now I'm going to go to this chapter and I'm going to be like south elements, and this is arbitrary. I mean, they could be first floor, second floor, third floor. They could be north, south, east, west. They could be building 1, building 2, building 3. That's, you just want to look at your project. And in general, for making a readable report, what I would try to do is, this is a chapter, south elements, and then within a chapter you have a section, and each section you're going to handle inspecting a single element. And I would try to refrain from having maybe more than 10 elements per chapter. That would be kind of a rule of thumb I would use to make a somewhat readable report. So let's say we're in south elements now. Let's call this, entry, stair, system, and balcony. Right. And then we're going to use the three dots and we're going to copy section, and I'll actually copy it a bunch of times, right? And then this could be another element. Let's say unit number 202 or 203, and then this could be unit number 208, right? Whatever, I'm just making this up. Unit number 210. So now we've got three different elements that we can inspect. So I hope that makes sense. You could go up in your north elements, you could come up here and you could copy this section a bunch of times. And again, you're kind of, this would be doing your first initial inspection on these, sort of constructing all the different elements you're going to inspect and creating a section for each element you're going to inspect, and kind of dividing the report into the proper chapters. Okay, so we've gone through starting a new report and kind of architecture of designing the template to suit the building that you're inspecting using copy chapter and copy section. So now let's fill out an element. So let's say we're north elements, unit number 209. And we're going to give an overview picture. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab some pictures that we can use. So I'm going to go into my mobile media, hit the little plus mark right here, and this will get me a backdoor to my computer. And I'll just go ahead and grab some pictures that I can use for this demo. So this is kind of how you can add pictures from outside Scribeware into the mobile media folder. So now I've got a bunch of pictures we can play with. I can open this to make it a little easier to work. So visualize it on the mobile app. I built the little camera icon here, so you can click that emoji and you just take pictures of the element that you are inspecting. So pretty straightforward, and the idea there is just, I would have an overview picture of what element we're dealing with unit number 209. I've made some recent changes to the default template so that by default all of these are just little descriptive things saying, hey, I inspected the flashings, I inspected the membrane. If you want, you can use defective. So if the membrane was defective and maybe the sealants were defective, you could just check those, but that's up to you. You don't really have to. These are kind of designed to just prove that you looked at the element. So really the heavy lifting of inspecting an element is all comes down to just two things. And these are straight out of the California law. So the first one is you have to give it a grade as far as kind of how many months of life. So let's say that, we had some sealant failures and membrane failures that really ought to be addressed in the next year. So I'd click 12 months, and then you go into recommendations and you're going to say maintenance required or repairs ASAP. Let's choose that one. Okay, so repair of this element is required as soon as possible. The following action items were noted during the inspection. So you can click on this, and these are basically what the law says you're required to report on. So significant deterioration was noted in the wood framing of this element. Significant loss was noted in the steel framing. Additional evaluations are needed to determine load carry capacity has been compromised. Water sources were discovered that require repair to prevent decay and deterioration of structural materials, and remediation repairs are needed. So let's say we're just dealing with 4, right? Kind of not too bad, but need to get on it. And then let's drag in some pictures. So I know these aren't necessarily the balcony we're talking about. I'm just trying to give a nice little example here. All right, so now we're going to caption these pictures. So the workflow that I really encourage and how I've designed this template is that you can basically just take pictures and caption them. So you take a picture and then you can write a caption. So the deck membrane, and we actually support using a separate photo captions library. So I don't have a lot of those. I'm letting each company build that out, but the waterproof membrane is failing. So I just started typing in mem and it remembered that. And then I could hit the arrow and go to the next one. And then let's see if I have one for sealant. The sealant is failing. So again, pretty vague. You could add something, C at the deck to wall juncture, right? And we'll fix that. So cool. So now we've got some pictures, we got some captions, and then you just put your cursor here, examples of specific observations noted during inspection includes, and then you hit that and make a little bulleted list. So that's pretty much it. And you really, if you get good at voice to text, you can do all this on a mobile app, and you can do everything with just speech to text and or type to text and or pre-made photo captions. So you have 3 different ways to add the photo captions, but the workflow that I'm encouraging you can be very detailed here. I mean, you could add 20 pictures and you could be very specific about what you're finding, but really the only thing you need to do for report writing is give it a grade. And again, our grades are no problems found, maintenance required, repairs required ASAP, immediate action required. You have 4 choices, and then put a bunch of pictures there and caption them. And personally, if it were me, even if I found no problems, I might, at least have a couple pictures and explain, like, it looks like a new membrane here, whatever. So cool. So that covers just filling out one of these sections in order to complete a balcony inspection. Okay, so I'll give you one more example. Let's go ahead and name this one Unit 409, and we'll go quick, and we're going to do some overview pictures, and here's the element we're looking at, inspected, inspected, inspected. Let's say this one's terrible, so 60 days and immediate action required, and we're going to drag in some pictures to use, and we're going to caption them, right? And you could use pre-made captions like I'm doing. You could type them, you could speak them in, you put your cursor here. The following action items were needed: significant deterioration and water sources remediation repairs are needed. Boom, 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 right? That's super simple. So that's how you fill in each element. And now we're going to go ahead and let's publish a report. By the way, you can always click on pictures to open them, and you can animate them, right? You can put arrows and ellipses and all that kind of stuff. So okay, so we've gone ahead and we've done all of our little units, and we're all done, and we want to publish it. Let's hit the publish button right up here. Publish without sending an email. So you can publish and send it straight to the client. I usually like to publish it and kind of review it. So we'll hide this, We're going to go to the client property information page, and the report link is right up here, and I'm going to click it and open it up, and then we could go ahead and kind of see the report that we made. So we've got the boilerplate that's straight out of the California law, and then we could go straight to the north elements here, and this is, unit number 209, overview pictures that we inspected everything. At 12 months, this should be, waterproofing repairs are needed, and you're being kind of specific. And then we go to unit 409, we got some overview pictures, and 60 days, this is an immediate action item, right? So you can see these ones are sort of partly filled out, but we didn't fill those out. So cool. So that's how you go ahead and write a report. Now, if you need to go back and redocument things, let me show you a couple things you can do. By the way, the cover picture goes right here. So you put a cover picture in. And then I built some other chapters here. Tier 1 waterproofing repairs, Tier 2 evaluation and remediation repairs. So if you're being hired to go back and inspect the repairs that are being done, I've given you a place where you can do that. And what I might do is go ahead and copy the report. So then you'll have the original report, plus you can kind of add onto it. And you might even make a list of all your different site visits of the times that you were out there. Finally, I gave a little chapter that you can add PDFs. So if, let's just say, for example, you had stamped engineered drawings of the recommended repairs, you could just go ahead. You can go into we have a little folder here for PDFs. If you hit the plus mark, that's a backdoor to your computer. You can go in and find PDFs on your computer, and then this isn't a PDF, but that you would select one and kind of attach it like that. That's the picture showing up. But you can drag a PDF document into Scribeware just like a regular picture. Sorry, my computer's acting really slow here because it's of the video recording, but you drag it in like that, and that's how you can attach a PDF. So this is super quick overview of just really basically how can you fill out one of these reports. There's a ton of customization you can do. We have some companies that have added tables, and you can add other chapters, and we could go into way more detail on reinspection procedures, but I just wanted to make a quick, as short as I could, overview of how could you go out and do a balcony inspection tomorrow. All right, thanks for watching.